Hello, Expand Dog. How you doing, dude? So we're gonna start here with Animal Well. For those who don't know, Animal Well is the first game that Video Game Donkey produced. He's such a popular YouTuber. He gets so many views, so much money. He actually produced a video game, and apparently it's critically acclaimed. People really love it. Now, I haven't seen anything about it, so we're gonna actually watch this now for the first time, get some exposure to it. Okay?
Welcome to Animal Well, a mysterious Animalvania and the first ever open well type game, a game of stunning atmosphere, devious creatures, cryptic clues, toyful mechanics, fuzzy friends, imaginative puzzles, and you get a frisbee too.
So, okay, let's be honest here. All right? It's a Metroidvania. There's been 5 zillion of these. Ever since indie developers realized that these are a lot easier to develop than games with more complex graphics, and that people don't really care about the graphics in a Metroidvania style game. So I hate to say it, it doesn't seem very original to me. It seems like something that you probably have seen a million times before. Let's see if there's anything original about it. To me, it's just kind of like, I'll be honest. I'm like, I've seen a million of these already. So
This is Big Mode's first ever video game we've published, and we could not be prouder. It is so different from everything out there right now, and I think it's an experience that's going to stay with you. I say turn this video off right now and go play Animal Well, because it's a game that really is meant to be played. It has been a long journey for Big
it's the same exact map as any Metroidvania. It seems like the same platforming as a Metroidvania. So I hope he's going to tell us how it's original, because I'm not seeing it yet.
Mode, and an even longer one for the game's developer, Billy Basso.
Hello.
Billy, it has been so rewarding to work alongside you and watch you put this thing together piece by piece, and even though this is distinctly your game, you really made us feel like part of the team. Every week on YouTube, you can see what I've been working on, but with Big Mode, it's like we've been cooking up this secret project for years. When we started working on this, me and Leah didn't have a baby. Now, my daughter is sitting on the couch next to me watching me play Animal Well. And that's why today, Billy, I want to talk to you about Chameleon Twist 2.
Well, that's a very good game, actually. It's actually, sadly, one of the last that was produced.
Wait, I'm missing this. So today, I want to talk to you about Animal Well.
I made that one.
Could you tell us a little bit about how you made Animal Well? Specifically, which engine did you use to make it?
Well, I made the engine myself.
No, that's not... I thought you did the graphics.
I did that part.
But then who did the music?
That was me.
So you did the engine, the graphics, and the music. Who did the puzzles, though?
The puzzles were me.
Who did the voice of the kangaroo?
Kangaroo, yeah, that one was me.
So you made this entire video game from scratch by yourself?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm out here. I don't even know how to make pretzels yet.
Well, first, to start with the dough, you're going to need some yeast, some water.
No, don't tell me. I'll figure it out for myself. Like in Animal Well. One of the craziest things about this game is that there is no talking. No tutorials. The dialogue in this game is literally buried in a secret spot.
I actually wrote a bunch of dialogue for all the animals where they would, like, tell you what to do, and then later on, when I was trying to make the game more realistic, I realized that animals don't talk, so I needed to cut that all out.
This game is about you figuring it out for yourself, and it's so rewarding to do so. No hand-holding, nobody telling you what to do or how to play.
I mean, I respect that the guy made the game himself, but does the game look that interesting? Honestly, no, it doesn't. It looks like a Metroidvania with pixel graphics, the same mechanics you've probably seen in a bunch of other games, maybe a few, indie things or different things thrown in here or there, but I'm not really impressed. I'm not trying to crap on the game. One man made the game, but it doesn't seem to be trailblazing. It doesn't seem to be innovating. Exactly. Fed Rogers says we end up having 15, 20 games that look exactly like this every year. You're right. You're literally right. So
you choose which way you want to go, you choose which tools you're going to use, and you decide how you're going to use them. On top of being an open world type game, Animal Well is also a puzzle game, which almost spooked me off. I can count on one hand the puzzle games that I can actually beat, so if I can do it, you can definitely do it. Animal Well has such an incredible range and variety of puzzles, but solving them is very intuitive. Billy has put a lot of thought into making sure the puzzles communicate a language the player has learned through playing the game. But what really sets this game apart to me is how he's made the actual process of solving puzzles so much fun. They're not just satisfying on the brain level, but on a more visceral and tactile level as well. In Metroid, as you progress, you get better armor, bigger guns. In Animal Well, the treasures you discover are very unconventional. Instead of an ice ray, you'll get the yo-yo. Instead of heat-seeking missiles, you'll get a frisbee. And when you get the frisbee, you'll go, what the hell am I gonna do with this? Until you remember that doggies is in this game. And what are doggies weak to? The frisbee. And that's when you realize this game is a work of genius.
Is it though? So you use the ice beam to freeze the enemy that's weak to the ice beam. You use the frisbee on the enemy that is weak to the frisbee. It's just, okay, it's not a gun, it's a toy. It still does the same thing though. Again, I understand why Donkey is totally building this game up, because this is the first game he ever produced, right? But it doesn't look original at all to me in any way. It's probably a cute little game. If you like Donkey and you support him in his content, you'll probably buy it and play it. If you respect that a guy made the whole game from scratch for himself, you probably buy it and play it. But I'm watching this, I'm looking for something to say, oh, that's neat, or oh, that's cool. I haven't seen a single thing at all. I'll watch a little more. Let's skip the puzzle section. Well, graphics. What the hell is this? Layers, like lasagna. Let's just watch the end segment.
All about. In Animal Well, you will encounter animals from all over the world. Clingy hedgehogs, helpful chinchillas, Goliath seahorses, peaceful capybaras, hungry chameleons, skittish squirrels, and so many more. Billy, what's the best animal?
Dog.
Animal Well has 6 different breeds of dogs. That's how you know he's not fucking around on this game. This is the type of game where you want to wake up in the morning, drink a cup of coffee, and put on Animal Well. But it's also the type of game when you get sleepy, you turn off the lights, you go, and play Animal Well on the Switch or Steam Deck. It's also a really fun game to talk about with other people who've played it because it is so open-ended. I feel like this has happened so many times where I see Leah playing Animal Well and she is in some zone I didn't even know existed. When you started on Animal Well, you described it as a survival horror game. Since then, it's
This is not a survival horror game in any way, shape, or form.
evolved into something else, but I still...
Yeah, it's a Metroidvania game. That's what it is. It's not survival horror anymore. I realized it was probably going to be better to just make a Metroidvania game, right?
You'll see a lot of Resident Evil DNA in there. You have limited resources with the firecrackers, you got the fancy lighting effects, whiskers, you got the good music in the save room, you got the crank, the crows, dogs, a big snake, and there's some pretty intense and creepy moments in there which we've been kind of keeping under wraps.
He's just naming things arbitrarily as if they're features. There's a snake. Yeah, it's the name of the game is Animal Well. There's a well full of animals. I get it. There's a snake in there. Wow. You use tools to solve puzzles. Yeah, like a game. I get it. I'm still waiting for you to say one notable thing about the game that I care about. The one thing I care about, one man made it. And that's respectable. That only one person made the entirety of the game, did everything. That I respect. But it doesn't make the game good. And I'm waiting for something good. I'm still not seeing anything.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it's really funny to watch people play those parts.
Okay, after the squirrel. Oh, what the fuck?
From the second you pick up the controller, it is so glaringly obvious.
And the funny part is, because it's animals, it's not even scary. Like, if that was a mutated monster running at you, you'd be like, what the holy shit is that? It's just an ostrich. You're like, oh, it's an ostrich. Oh, it killed me. Oh, darn, let me get back there and try not to die now. It's just an ostrich. It's not a big deal. You see?
Much love Billy has put into this game. I keep calling it an open world type game to be funny, but that's really what it is. There are so many skips and tricks and different approaches you can take in overcoming the game's obstacles. So many hidden mechanics and treasures and puzzles and bizarro bullshit that only Billy would ever put into a video game. I've beat this like 20 times since we started working together, and I'm still finding out new stuff. This idea of thinking you know a place and then having the curtain drawn and realizing you didn't know shit. It's a magical thing, and it's what makes Animal Well called Animal Will. If you know who I am, though, you know that I can never make a video without talking about Mario instead. Billy, which Mario game would you say was the most influential on Animal Will? Come on now. What else needs to be said? Play this game.
So, I mean, what I would say is from watching this 8-minute video, if you like Metroidvanias and you like indie-style Metroidvanias, it's probably right up your alley. But it definitely seems like a niche market, and if the game does get mainstream popularity, it's because Video Game Donkey produced it. Let's be honest. If this game was not made and now being advertised by Video Game Donkey, do you think it would have gotten noticed? I'm just saying. Do you think that Stellar Blade would have gotten any of the attention that it got if it didn't have that particular female protagonist? I'm just saying. I mean, we can keep going on. There's certain things that make certain games be seen and noticed over others. This is 100% because of Video Game Donkey, right? And I'll be honest with you, I'm glad now that I did not actually check this out because people were trying to push me to check it out. And honestly, I don't think it would have worked. Like, I think I would have liked it for like the first hour, and then I kind of would have been a little bored. And the audience, I guarantee you this would not have worked for my audience. It's so rare when a Metroidvania even works for my audience, you know? But hey, more power to them. If people like the game and it's a solid game for people who like this style of game or whatever, good. And again, I highly respect the guy for making the game himself. That's insane amount of work and an undertaking, right? But I don't think that really appeals to me. Now that I know what it is, like, eh. But, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm not hating on Video Game Donkey. I'm not hating on the guy. Just, it's not for everyone, right? It's not for me, and that's fine. I'm glad we watched it. Maybe it'll give it a little bit more exposure here to maybe some of you. Maybe this appeals to some of you guys, right? There you go. All right, anyway, thank you for watching DSP versus the Internet. We are now in the home stretch. So one more part left. I hope that you'll join me as we get through these final batch of videos. I'll see you then.